very much for coming this afternoon. My name is Christopher Neal. I'm the Senior Communications Officer for the World Bank Institute, and it's our pleasure to host this event today with the Latin America and Caribbean Department of the World Bank. So we're here to present and discuss a new book, Prosperity Unbound, Building Property Markets with Trust. And we have both the author and a very distinguished panel here to discuss this book today. I'll introduce each of the panelists, and then we will start with a presentation of the book by the author Elena Panaritis. Elena Panaritis is a leading expert on property rights and transformation of illiquid real estate assets and public sector management. And Elena has in the past worked at the World Bank as a senior economist working in the Latin America and Caribbean department, as it happens, and was worked in Peru, and a lot of the experience that she had in Peru is outlined in this book. In fact, she described this book as both closure and initiation, and it's intertwined with her own personal history in that way, that closure because she felt, having worked in Peru on informal property rights, and Peru has kind of become the poster child for in the informal sector generally. But having worked in Peru on legalizing informal property rights, she wanted to document what was successful and what was unsuccessful. So that's the closure. The initiation is that this experience prompted her to start her own company called the Panel Group, which focuses on on the triple bottom line. It's not myself having an MBA. I had to ask her what that meant. And a triple bottom line is another word from what I could understand for sustainable development, in that it delivers on the financial, economic side, the social side, and the environmental side. So she'll be explaining that to you in greater detail. I'd just like to say before we move on that she's lectured on housing and finance, public policy reform as well, at INSEAD, at the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania, at the Johns Hopkins University School for Advanced International Studies, and elsewhere. And while she was at the bank fully for 11 years, she spearheaded property rights reform in Peru, and in fact the bank has been instrumental, I think it's fair to say, in pushing this agenda in Peru. After she speaks, to comment on the book, we've invited Klaus Denninger here at my immediate left, who is a lead economist with the Rural Development Group in the Development Economics Department of the bank, in the DEC as we call it, the research group. And his areas of research focus on income and asset inequality. He wrote a book on land reform, and successful and unsuccessful a few years ago. Access to land markets, and land reform, as I mentioned, and their impact on household welfare and agricultural productivity. And has worked in this area and studied in this area in Africa, Central America, and East Asia. Our third speaker is Eleuterio Codato, who is sector manager for the World Bank's Urban Transport and Urban Department. Mr. Codato is of Brazilian and Italian national. Joined the bank in 1991 as urban management specialist in the infrastructure division of LAC, the Latin American Caribbean region department, and he has since then held various positions at the bank, his most recent assignment having been sector leader in finance, private sector, and the infrastructure unit of LAC, where he oversees both urban business development and strategy and implementation. And our final speaker, who is also coming from SAIS at Johns Hopkins University, is Francis Fukuyama. And of course, Francis Fukuyama is known to many of you for his books on The End of History and The Last Man. I guess you've heard that introduction many times, I'm sure. And is also on trust. Is another book on trust, which he will be. So he'll be commenting finally on in the last spot among the speakers. He's written, of course, many other books, as well as his most recent one, America at the Crossroads: Democracy, Power, and the Neoconservative Legacy. He is His book, The End of History and the Last Man, published in 1992, has appeared in over 20 foreign editions, has made bestseller lists in the United States, France, Japan, and Chile, and has been awarded various awards, including the Los Angeles Times Book Critics Award. And he's and of course teaches in international political economy, where he's a professor at the School of Advanced International and Strategic Studies at Johns Hopkins University. So I will turn the floor over to Elena Paniaritis, but before that, I'd just like to mention that after this discussion, there will be a wine and cheese reception in the info shop where you are invited to join us, and all the more invited to purchase a copy of this book, and which will be at a 1/3 discount. So take advantage of the opportunity for this really groundbreaking piece of research. So Elena Paniaritis, over to you. Thank you.